Hello, I am Bjorn, your movie archaeologist, and welcome to the Temple of Movie Reviews. We're getting good because I saw another advanced screening. This is the second one in 2 weeks, so we're really pumping out that content. The artifact we stumbled onto today it's Cocaine Bear. This movie has been advertised a lot, bizarrely. I've seen ads for Cocaine Bear literally everywhere. And before every movie I've seen lately. So I think this thing is fairly well publicized, so I don't really think I have to introduce it. It's a movie about a bear that does cocaine, and that's the joke of the movie. I hope you like it, because they're going to tell it a lot. I thought this movie was okay. It was fine. It could have been so much better, though. There was a lot of potential here for a cocaine-themed movie with bears in it. I mean, that's a wonderfully stupid premise, and I was actually kind of excited for this one, purely because that premise just sounded ridiculously dumb. And, I mean, it is ridiculously dumb, and the movie does have some dumb fun moments, but really this movie's biggest problem is, like, it kind of pulls its punches a little bit. Like, there's lots of gore in it, but it's not particularly, like, action-based gore. So let me explain. I mean, mild spoilers for Cocaine Bear. I'll get into deep spoilers later. But again, you know what this movie is. You know what it's about. You know what's going to happen in it. So spoilers don't really mean anything. And I can tell you right off the gate, if you're coming to this for lots of fun kills, I don't really know if this movie's going to be for you, because the kills in this are not very good. I was not impressed. As a guy who loves splatter flicks, this did not splatter enough to warrant being a flick. Alright, so you've got your premise, right? Man throws cocaine from airplane, cocaine lands in forest, Yogi Bear eats cocaine, and Yogi Bear kills campers. And I would say the biggest problem with this movie, besides the kills being kind of lame, is there are way too many characters. There's like 1 million characters in this movie. You've got like cocaine dad, cocaine son, 3 cocaine teenagers. You've got cocaine little girl and cocaine son. These are all people who've done cocaine. Cocaine enforcer, cocaine enforcer's son, cocaine enforcer's employee. I may have repeated some of these cocaine people. And then you've got random hiker 1 and 2. You've got, obviously you've got the wildlife expert, he's in the movie. Oh, and the park ranger. How could I forget the park ranger? Oh, and cocaine kid and cocaine little girls. Mom and friend's mom. I don't know. It's a weird thing. And obviously you've got the titular Cocaine Bear in the film as well. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh yeah, shit! I was forgetting a couple actually. We've got cocaine ambulance driver woman, and is there one more? Oh my god, cocaine cop. Oh, how could I forget cocaine cop? He was actually kind of funny. So yeah, needless to say, there's a lot of characters in this movie, and a lot of them go nowhere. And so you're thinking to yourself, oh, that's awesome. You've got a lot of characters to get killed. And yeah, that's what I was thinking. Except like 90% of them make it out. And a couple of the ones who die get shot. Like a lot of them get shot. The bear barely kills anybody. So the first bear kill in the movie is wildlife expert. He gets like dosed in cocaine, so the bear climbs a tree and kills him. And this starts what I like to call bear, kill, cutaway, gore on the floor. Because this happens every time without fail, just about. The bear sees the person. We see the bear. The bear starts to attack them. We see maybe one bite or one scratch. We're going to cut away, and then we see either gore fall into frame, or we cut back to the dead body later. You don't actually get to see the kill all that often, which is just like Blue Balls, the movie. You're like, oh boy, the bear is finally going to kill somebody. Oh boy, I cannot wait for that bear to kill somebody. So for example, guy in tree, he's standing there, and the bear is attacking the little boy. It decides it doesn't want to attack him because it smells the cocaine on this other guy. And then, so the guy is in the tree. The cocaine bear comes up and attacks him. You see him hanging, and then you see blood kind of run down him, but you don't actually see the bear, like, goring him up. And then he sort of falls, and then we see his body on the floor. And I thought, well, that's just the first kill. They don't want to edge us too hard. They don't want us to, blow our load already. And so they keep it going. And then the next kill, I went to the bathroom because I had to piss, because I was in line to get into this advanced screening for a long time. And apparently in between when I went to the bathroom, when I came back to the movie, one of the cocaine teenagers gets shot in the head by the park ranger. I don't know how that happened, so there's a gap in my knowledge, but that's one kid who gets shot. And then there's another kid leaning against a door after an extended sequence where they're looking for the bear inside of a building. And the bear's paw comes through the window and it puts its head on him. And then we cut away. And then later in the movie, we see the kid's body on the floor. And I was like, oh, this is going to be the whole movie, isn't it? And I was mostly right. So, well, I'm being overly negative because there were some things I liked in this movie. I laughed 3 or 4 times. The 4th time I laughed leaving the theater when they handed me a cocaine snorting straw as like a goodie bag thing. I meant to bring it with me, but I don't have it. But it was like a straw with money on it, and that was amusing. I laughed at that. So I'm going to give that laugh to the movie, even though it wasn't really a laugh at the movie. But you know what? Good for you. And there was a couple other moments where I snorted. The 3 moments I laughed, there was this really absurd cutaway gag where one of the teenagers, whose 2 friends are already dead at this point, talks about how he and his friends are going to move to New York, and they just cut to them all giving thumbs up on a couch, and his 2 friends are like completely gory messes, and he's perfectly fine. And it was like this really absurd sort of random moment that it caught me off guard, and it got a laugh out of me. I kind of wish more of the movie was like that. There's a sequence involving a gazebo, and I won't spoil this because I thought it was pretty funny. That whole extended sequence was fairly amusing, and bizarrely the bear had nothing to do with 90% of it until the very end. It's just like a standoff between 2 characters with guns, and it's really absurd and it's sort of amusing. And it ends with a character getting shot and dying because we can't have the bear kill anybody, guys. You had the bear right there. The bear is right there. Yeah, I'm just gonna get into heavy spoilers, man. If what I've said so far doesn't really sound like your sort of thing, I don't want to tell people not to see this because it could be someone else's sort of thing. I went into this expecting Dale and Tucker versus Evil, but what I got was more generic than that and not nearly as funny. So if this is sort of your thing, I expect most people went into this for some cocaine jokes and a lot of good gore. And a lot of the gore is okay, it's pretty good, but it's just dead bodies on the floor. You see no maulings. In fact, one character, this is heavy spoilers now, there's this hiker guy, and he's following around the kid and the mom, and I'll get into them later because I hated that. And his wife gets killed at the beginning of the movie. The bear tackles her, she gets killed off screen, and then her leg comes flying by, and we see the gore on the floor. As again, I said, it's the main ticket with this movie. It's basically the motto of this movie: gore on the floor. And he gets killed off screen. We hear him screaming. We don't even see the bear tackle him. We don't even get that. And then we cut to his body. And so I shine the flashlight on it, and it's a gory mess, and it was just not ideal. I was not feeling it as far as that front goes. There is one good kill in the movie. A guy gets hung by his neck by a cocaine bag, and the bear eat his entrails, and it was really, really raunchy and gory and fairly amusing. And the moment just before that was one of my other laughs, where the bear is dead. It's been impaled on a rock, and then the guy drops cocaine in front of it, and it like brings it back to life. It was like Frankenstein almost, like really stupid, and like it made me laugh. I don't know. It's dumb. Besides that, there's just lots of jokes about cocaine. Like the most surface level joke ever, like, uh-oh, kid does cocaine. How much cocaine should I take? Kid takes big spoon. It's like the King Batch, like, oversized spoon gag. Like, oh no, that's too much cocaine for that kid to take. Ha 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 ha. And it just wasn't funny to me. I don't know. Maybe it'd be funny to other people. Again, I found parts of the movie enjoyable. I liked the absurd cop and his little Shih Tzu. I thought they kept showing this dog, right? The Shih Tzu dog, and I thought they established the dog is now in the park, and I don't know why they kept bringing the dog up so much that I thought for sure that dog was gonna fight that bear, and I was waiting for it. I thought that'd be really funny, like as an absurd sort of bizarre event, and nope, it doesn't happen. Instead, the dog is given to this guy who's sad because his wife died, and he's happy that he has a dog now. And that was just not funny and not entertaining at all. Let me get into the characters, because I think this movie tries really hard to be like heartfelt and emotional. And it's a movie called Cocaine Bear, about a bear that does cocaine. This isn't Citizen Kane, guys. We know what we're in for. And they try so hard to characterize people. Like, they set up the most generic mother and her daughter can't connect after their father dies, and she wants to date, and she won't let a new man come into her life. And in these characters, I'm not going to exaggerate, the little boy and the little girl get attacked by a bear. She gets drug off screen. We don't get to see the attack. And later, she pops up in a cave, and she's just in there. And for the rest of the movie, this mom and this little boy wander through the woods and never, ever, ever run into the bear. There is no point to any of it. Nothing involving it ties into anything. At the end of the movie, they jump off a waterfall, and then the rest of the conflict plays out with the other characters. They do nothing to establish the conflict or involve themselves in the conflict. You could literally take a hacksaw and remove the characters from the movie. In fact, the other two characters that the mom brings into the woods to initiate the bear attack, they could have already been there because they were going to the woods anyway. So the mother and the two killed children, none of them get killed by bears. The only thing they do as far as like bringing like a bear attack is they bring Tormund from Game of Thrones to the cave, and then he gets killed off screen. But he was already by the cave, so you could have just killed him off screen and shown the gore on the floor. And like you could have just axed the kids, and I think it should have happened. The little girl, all I could think of watching the movie is I'm scatterbrained on this one. I'm sorry, this review is a mess. But it's a movie called Suburban Sasquatch. It's so bad it's good. It was introduced to me because Red Letter Media made a video about it. So I bought it on DVD and I watched it, and I love it. It's one of my favorite so bad it's good movies. I'm just gonna play a clip that'll summarize the entire movie.
Dave! Dave!
Now I'm going to compare the plot of Cocaine Bear to the plot of Suburban Sasquatch, specifically the mother arc. In Suburban Sasquatch, a girl gets brought to a cave by the Sasquatch, and a male character wanders through the woods for 20 minutes, runs into the Sasquatch occasionally, runs away, and then the Sasquatch goes away and kills someone else randomly. Until the very end of the movie where they go to the cave, they rescue the girl, they kill the Sasquatch, and then they leave, and none of them get killed. And all the while, the Sasquatch is just sort of going off, killing a random person, and coming back. And it's not great. It's not a good plot. And that's basically what happens with the mom and the kids in this movie. But you don't even need them for the plot to function. You could just remove them. So I think if they remove the kids, focused in on the amusing relationship between the African-American drug dealer, I don't get names, I'm so sorry, the Colombian drug dealer's son, and their emotional arc in the movie, and then had it end in the waterfall with them standing up to the dad getting killed by the bear. I'm trying to make a plot out of Cocaine Bear, guys. I think I'm doing this wrong. And and also just like no more gore on the floor, guys. Let's see them kills. That's what we all came here for. This isn't tasteful. We came here to see this bear kill some people. So this review is sort of meandered. I'm gonna just describe the kills I actually liked. Only one of them has to do with the bear, and they already talked about it. It's the one where the guy gets killed by the bear, and they eat his guts. I kind of like that kill. There's another kill where the bear knocks a lady on a stretcher off of the back of an ambulance, and her face gets dragged into the ground. And it reminds me of the scene with A-Train in The Boys Season 3. I liked that kill. It's fairly gory. And then the car crashes, and the girl gets thrown through the window shield. And she's still alive on the floor for a second. I thought, oh, this is going to be where the bear comes and eats her while she's paralyzed. Like, oh, that's so gory and bizarre. I thought that was what was going to happen, and it just doesn't happen. No, sir, no eating batteries. That is, this animal just wanders in here and tries to eat a battery. And he's not even on cocaine. He doesn't even have that excuse. What's your excuse? All right, you're just going to sit here? Okay. I'm going to wrap up this review of Cocaine Bear because I've got a cocaine dog in my face. How did a dog even get out here to this jungle temple anyway? How did you even get here? You're breaking the immersion! First it was the Wild West, and now it's the jungle temple. You are just ruining this. I want you to know I'm disappointed in you. So yeah, that's really all my thoughts on Cocaine Bear. I think that basically sums up my opinions of it. It was funny. I didn't even talk about the third teenager and the arc with him, the cocaine son, and the cocaine drug dealer. That could have worked. Like, I actually kind of liked their dynamic. There were some funny jokes there. If they had just axed the mom and the kids that are in the movie for literally no reason, added more gore, show us the kills. There's something here that could be good. It doesn't work. It's kind of the same problem Ant-Man has, actually. Look at that, guys. The MCU is come down to Cocaine Bear levels. We've got some problems. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10, maybe a 5.5 out of 10. It's trying to be a dark comedy, a horror comedy, and it just doesn't quite land for me because the horror and the sort of silly gore is just it doesn't quite work. The bear CGI is not ideal, but I can look past that because it's probably a lower budget movie. All right, that's really my thoughts. I'm going to leave the temple now, or until the next time I get an advanced screening on my cell phone. I've been Bjorn, the movie archaeologist, and I'm out of here. Suicide Squad coming Thursday or Friday. I think Friday. Adios.